Ooh, the silent pain of the men who have it all, right? The men who have made the millions, who've bought the mansions, who have the yachts. Ooh, the pain of those men who have made that their sole effort in life, who have neglected relationships and have just purely focused on making the money and building the financial success. I don't blame you if that's you, because we were so conditioned that that is the maker of man. That if you do that, then you will be worthy as a man. If you do that, then you will be happy as a man. But the reality is, you're not if you haven't done the inner work. And the truth is that so many men, the majority of men, have not had the initiation into manhood that is necessary to feel grounded and at peace within themselves. Because you can acquire anything in the world externally, but if you don't feel at peace within your soul, then what was the point in it in the first place, right? And this is the reason so many men feel empty, because they base their sense of worth on by how much they've attained externally. And don't get me wrong, we need to acquire safety and stability in our financial lives, right? We need to provide a home. We need to provide a car, holidays, the needs of life. We need to provide that, of course. But what we need to provide more so than ever is the internal safety within ourselves. Because when we provide the internal safety to ourselves, we can provide that to our partner and to our children. Because that is the definition of the modern man. The modern man is a man who feels safe and grounded in his nervous system and is able to provide that for his wife and his children, to build the next generation of men and women, to create a stable and loving world for us all. So the man who has made all the money, who has created all the success and is sat up all alone wondering why he feels so unhappy, bro, I feel for you, because you were just living an outdated narrative that told you you were only worthy if you made a ton of money and created a ton of success and impact. And deep down, you know it to be true. You know that there is a deeper inner work that's required. There is a boy within you that's crying out for your love. The boy that was crying out for attention from mum and dad when you were a child, that was seeking to gain that validation through the acquisition of finance and power. But it's making you miserable. And we see it in the leaders of the world. We see it in the billionaires of the world. You know, so many billionaires in the world are running around on their yachts with many, many women, right? The modern man desires to have a queen that he can serve in love and presence. The modern man desires this above all things because he knows that having a queen will deeply serve his own mission in life, his own mission to serve in life. She will support him and he will support her. So if you're a billionaire who's running around on yachts telling yourself that all these young women are making you happy, then you're deluding yourself. I'm calling you out, man. It's the Andrew Tates of this world. Yes, Andrew Tate, I'm calling you out, man. You need to do some serious work on yourself, brother. You are not setting an example for the young men of this world that is required. We need to teach young men how to be loving and gentle with themselves. We need to teach young men how to provide for their women, to provide safety, structure, stability. It is not about competition, it is about creation. So, two things I want to do in this moment. If you're resonating with this as a man who's made his way in finance but is miserable, I want to call you forward into this work. There is a new man that is evolving. A man who provides for the earth, a man who provides for sustainability, a man who is not motivated by his own selfish ends, a man who is motivated by the needs of the world, to love and honor his wife, his children, and to be the kind of man that young men can look up to, the kind of man that gives of his time freely to young men to show them the way forward, a man that gives his time freely to society and community so we can all move forward together, not just fill your own pockets. That is the motivation of the wounded boy. And I know that if you're resonating with this right now, that wounded boy in you is in need of your love and is in need of leadership to show you how to lead yourself out of the motivation of greed and the motivation of acquisition of finance and success, to the realization that your worth is dependent on the capacity of your heart to give love to the world. And as you give, so you receive, and you know it in your soul. So I'm calling you forward. If you resonate with this, please, please, please begin to find the new way, because you are deserving of pure happiness, peace, and contentment within your soul, my brother.